In any Pokemon game, the rival serves to test you periodically throughout your journey. They're supposed to be your equal, the only trainer that can consistently keep up with you. Barry is no different. The Generation 4 rival boasts a team that grows throughout your journey in Sinnoh to include some absolute all-stars. Staraptor, Heracross, Snorlax, Floatzel, Rapidash, these are solid Pokemon. Why then does everyone remember Barry as a joke? He's certainly the most carefree goofball of all the early Pokemon game rivals, but the team members I just mentioned, like in all Pokemon games, are always accompanied by a starter Pokemon super effective against your choice of starter. And in Sinnoh, the starter Pokemon are excellent. Torterra, Infernape, and Empoleon all provide their own unique strengths in battle, and Barry's starter rounds out his team to make a truly menacing lineup in nearly every encounter with him. But then, of course, he is also just the thud guy. But I want to know what would happen if we gave Barry a proper chance. What if we stopped making fun of him? In this video, I'm going to play through all of Pokemon Platinum with a perfect recreation of Barry's team to find out once and for all if he actually can get all 8 badges and meet you in the Pokemon League like he does in the game. And furthermore, if in an alternate reality where he gets there before the player, could he actually become champion of the Sinnoh region if given the chance? Now, of course, Barry does have 3 different team lineups, one for each starter, and to keep things fair, I'll play the game once with each team. One run for each of them to verify whether one starter could make it and another couldn't, or if they're all good or if they're all bad. Basically, I want to make this as scientific as possible. Now, since I'm making perfect recreations of all of Barry's teams at every point throughout the game, down to IVs, EVs, levels, moves, everything, one really useful thing for that is that we actually see Barry several times throughout the game, usually right before or right after he would have challenged a gym. So we have perfect snapshots at a lot of points throughout the game for exactly what his team should look like. Barry's 3 team lineups are quite similar, as you might imagine, with only slight variations to account for type matchups depending on which starter you have. Obviously, the starter is different for each, but there's a rotating cast of Roselia, Buizel, and Ponyta that come in different combinations depending on his starter choice. Typically in my Can This Trainer Get to Victory Road or Get to the Elite Four style videos, I use my check system. This system awards a check plus, check minus, or fail depending on how many heals you use to clear a certain gym leader. But on Barry, I want to be a little bit stricter. As we've seen in these videos in the past when we used rival teams, they're always really strong and very competitive. So to honor this and make this challenge as difficult as possible, for this particular video with Barry, it's going to be check plus or fail. No in between. I'm not allowed to use any heals on any of the 8 gym leader battles. Also, like I said before, I have to exactly mimic Barry's team lineups, which means I can't use any extra TMs or HMs I might have along the way, because I have to mimic Barry's movesets to a T. We see Barry's team on Route 203 well before the first gym. We battle him right after Fantina, right before Wake, right before Byron. We battle alongside him at Spear Pillar, which is coincidentally right after Candice, and we battle him in the lobby of the Pokemon League just after Volkner. This means we have a pretty good picture of his team before Gym 1, and an exact picture of his team at Gyms 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. As for how we'll fill in the gaps to match his team at the other gyms, I'll explain when we get there. But for now, let's jump into our first run of the day with Chimchar. At first glance, Barry's Chimchar team should have a really rough time against Gym Leader 1, Roark. We face Barry just after leaving Jubilife City on Route 203, and his team there is a level 7 Starly and a level 9 Chimchar. With this team composition, I'm fairly confident Roark would be basically impossible. Rock types obliterate this team, to say nothing of the massive level gap. But after forcing players in the 90s in Generation 1 to face Brock with Charmander, Game Freak learned their lesson. Just like how they gave Charmander Metal Claw at level 13 in Fire Red and Leaf Green to fix their past errors and give you some type advantage, Game Freak has done something odd with Chimchar's evolution level to try to give players in Generation 4 who chose the Fire Monkey a chance against Roark. To fully understand what they've done, we need to analyze the data of starter evolution levels throughout the franchise. And for that, we need to jump into yet another installment of the thing that happens in every single 8F video, and you all know what it is, and it's your favorite thing, and you're all gonna say it in unison with me now because you know what it is, and you've heard of it, and you love it, and you're about to see it. And it is, of course, the Spreadsheet Zone. Welcome back to everybody's favorite 8F segment that happens in every single video, the Spreadsheet Zone. Now, as you can see, I've collected all of the data here for generations 1 through 9 for all of the starter line evolution levels for both middle and final stage for all 3 types, fire, water, and grass. And really, spreadsheets are your #1 best friend when it comes to trying to understand trends or abnormalities in data sets, whether you're a mathematician, statistician, really any field of science. Now, obviously, we can parse these tables at a glance, but an even better tool sometimes, and something spreadsheets afford you, is nice graphical representations. So here we have a graph of the starter middle evolution levels, and then here's the graph for the starter final evolution levels. They had everybody evolving at level 16 for their middle evolution in Gen 1, and then in Gen 2, they thought, okay, let's tune 1 up, 1 down, and keep 1 the same. And I think this wasn't for any particular battles in the early game, but more so just as an interesting balancing mechanic in general to keep the starters sort of different feeling. And you can see this correlated in the data for the Generation 2 final evolutions also. You get Feraligatr at 30 to compensate the later middle stage of 18, and then you get Meganium at 32, and then you get the sort of more typical level 36 for Typhlosion. And then as you can see that the lines sort of coalesce into just all in the green line. Generations 5 through 9, the evolution levels for middle and final stage are all the same for all 3 types. And I think it's not difficult to see why. For some of these abnormalities in the data, like Monferno evolving at 14 here in Generation 4, they felt the need to overcorrect for one specific matchup, but then by nature of changing one of them, you have to change the others. They decided ultimately to throw all of this out the window by Generation 5, and I think that's ultimately for the best, but that does leave us with a problem still, which is that the Chimchar team cannot beat Roark. It's way too weak. But I think the good news here is that when we battle Barry on Route 203, he then has to get all the way to Oreburgh. Like when we battle him as the protagonist, our team definitely levels up and changes between that fight and battling Roark, because there are a lot of wild Pokemon and trainers in between those 2 battles. So it'd be unfair to Barry to say that he just still has that level 9 Chimchar, right? I think his team does definitely change. So the solution we're gonna go with is making a level cap for the first gym, and the level cap will be Roark's ace Pokemon, his Cranidos, which is coincidentally level 14, which is also the level Chimchar evolves into Monferno, sort of further solidifying that they made this level 14 decision sort of as a direct result of Roark. The first battle for Barry begins now. It is Monferno and Staravia versus Roark. I do not foresee this being incredibly difficult, but I also don't foresee it being easy. Obviously, really the only choice here is Mach Punch. Decent damage. Rock Throw is neutral because we pick up Fighting type when we evolve. That's fine. Getting the potion off on Geodude is nice. Onix's defense stat is ridiculous. So, still not bad though. Screech you don't love to see. Second potion, forgot about that. I'm washed. Okay. I have a feeling Mach Punch is going to do a good bit here. We go down to Pursuit. Again, we're not healing. I feel like Staravia can actually close this, especially with Intimidate coming off. It's got to be Wing Attack. And that is a beautiful, pristine check plus, and we are on to Gardenia. Now, we don't see Barry's team again until after Fantina, so we don't know exactly what his team should look like here against Gardenia. So to keep things challenging, I'm not going to add anyone to the team. And I'm just going to level up my Pokemon again to the ace level for Gardenia, which is 22. I'm really not worried about this gym. Okay, well, that is obviously slightly annoying. Let's try to stall that a little bit. You maybe live this with Reflect Up even from there. Yeah, okay. I just want to stall that Reflect just a hair. Unfortunate crit, let's just go. The Reflect wore off. We are in incredible shape. This definitely one-shots. I actually don't know what I'm talking about. Oh, Cherim is much bulkier. Even in the Victory Road video, I was constantly surprised how bulky this Pokemon is. And this for sure lives. Unfortunate, please hit through. Good. Citrus. We might not live that. Oh, nice. Red bar or go? Sick. All right. Check plus on Gardenia, and we are on to Fantina. Hey, you, just checking to see if you're still awake. Yep, good. Okay, great. I thought so. Please check below the video to see if you're subscribed. It takes like 2 seconds. Click that button. Just make sure, you don't want to miss the next video. And also, the bigger number does genuinely help the channel. I know YouTubers say that, but it is true. So please consider subscribing if you like what you're watching. And back to the video. Beautiful. Not as beautiful. I was so pleased, and then we didn't hit the ranges we needed. This looks more favorable. Cool. It's time to bring out Old Faithful. Old Faithful. That is, I have made a miscalculation. We still got the Leech Seed off. That's fine. This song is so incredible, dude. Classic. Yep. Yep. Cool. Okay. Okay, there's our safe path through the first. Shadow Sneak's annoying, but fine. Haunter comes out next. Interesting. Nice. Okay. Roselia, we cannot be missing Stun Spore, bro. We simply can't. We simply cannot be missing Stun Spore here. Come on. Good. And now, do we outspeed? Probably. Oh, beautiful. Oh, it's beautiful. It's just a beautiful thing. Oh, you know what? I should be sending out Monferno first and using Leer. Yeah. Okay. We're in okay shape. Not tremendous. No Leech Seeds have procced because I keep fainting turn 1. Just 2 shots away. There's the Confuse Ray. I just have to not hit myself. And really, how hard could that be? Really, how hard? It's actually 1 shot away because of Leech Seed. Oh, beautiful. All right, we're out. Jesus. Check plus on Fantina, and we're on to Maylene. Next up is the fighting type gym leader Maylene. We don't battle Barry before or after this gym leader, so again, we're gonna have to extrapolate a bit, but the good news is that his team changes very little between when we saw him last and when we'll see him next. The next battle against Barry is right in front of Crasher Wake's gym in Pastoria City, and his team composition in Pastoria is identical to what it was in the battle after Fantina, just leveled up a bit. Luckily, that means the fix here on Maylene is pretty simple. All I have to do is scale that Wake team down a few levels to make it more fair against Maylene. Wake's ace is 5 levels higher than Maylene's, so let's just drop all of our team members down 5 levels across the board, and that should do it. Okay, it is a range. I used double team. I thought that was where quick attack was. Wow, you really just live that on one sometimes. That is absolutely ludicrous. Let's just get some damage. That's not going to put it where I want it. Huge miss. Huge miss. I mean, we already know the plan. That Metal Claw did so much. Oh no. Probably should have done Staravia first for Intimidate, but I don't know. We're fine. We are not fine. Yeah, things are not looking good. If we live that, we win. Why did I say anything? You should try critting too. Good advice, Twitch chat. Nice one. Oh, that's gonna take. Oh wait, no. We're fine. Sorry, I was confusing which Pokemon had low HP. We just swapped Roselia and we're fine. Okay. You first for Intimidate. Frankly, we can play around this a little bit. This is a little cheeky, but I think it's fine. Nice damage. Come on. Beautiful. It's a check plus. We could have even intimidated again if we wanted to, but we're fine. We're on to Wake. All right, now that we're on Crasher Wake, we officially have exact snapshots for Barry's team composition for every gym leader from here to the end. So there's no more guesswork. There's no more extrapolation. We know exactly what his team will look like. I think the only thing to keep in mind here is that Crasher Wake is no joke. He starts off the back half of Sinnoh's gym leaders, which is chock full of monster teams. I mean, Candice and Volkner are really threatening, but Crasher Wake is in a league of his own. For what levels you might have at this part of the game, his team is absolutely diabolical. Obviously, Maylene and Fantina weren't easy, but Wake, again, is on another level. His team is monstrous. Gyarados opens with Intimidate and has water moves that span both physical and special, so you can't completely deal with his attacking by just using Intimidate with Staravia. Gyarados is also just bulky, but you need to get through him with enough of your team left over and healthy enough to deal with Wake's true demon, Floatzel. This Floatzel is wicked fast and has incredible coverage. Aqua Jet, Ice Fang, Crunch, you don't want to deal with this Pokemon, trust me. And then, assuming you get through that, you have to pray your Roselia or some grass type is still around to deal with Quagsire. Also, and this is maybe the most important thing, even though all 3 of Barry's starter Pokemon would be high enough level here to be fully evolved, Barry just doesn't evolve them. We're gonna need Leech Seed on Gyarados for sure. I'm gonna play around this a little bit. Also, you might be wondering, why is it level 36 without evolving? That's a great question. Barry makes some interesting choices. That's gonna do a lot. Don't flinch. Nice crit. How much does Mega Drain do out of cure? Well, we would love to poison. That would be really nice. Please don't do that. Yes. Okay, this is solid position. This is less solid position. Please stop flinching. That's a heal. We still have Floatzel in the back, which has Ice Fang. Dude, you are joking, bro. Please take. Okay. That is incredibly bad. Without Roselia, there's no way. That sucks, dude. That crit is so colossally bad. Yeah. I mean, we need Roselia for both of these. The only hope here is double team. And we're outsped, so Endeavor isn't even actually that good. We probably have to sack you, which is crazy, but I think we have to. You have Brine also. That complicates things. Okay. Yeah, we should live that. At -2, that does 2/3 with no crit. That's absolutely ludicrous. Wow. Is this just like basically unwinnable? Dude, there is no way! Bro, there is no way that keeps happening. This is so shit. Guys, Endeavor Quick Attack does not work in this structure because I'm outsped. And he has priority. So that is not a functional strategy. Bro, if I didn't get crit there, we'd have the best shot, but even then it's not guaranteed. I think it's winnable from there, but that's such a Goldilocks line of like, you need everything to go right. You get hit by so many moves on Gyarados and none of them can crit. I can't believe I'm saying, actually I can believe it because Crasher Wake is an absolute monster, bro. And Barry doesn't evolve his Pokemon because he has no battle sense. But I think I'm failing the Chimchar team. I think I'm failing the Chimchar team. And let's hope that either the Turtwig team or the Piplup team can somehow make it through here. Even though I think some of them lose. Hang on. Yeah, okay. They lose Buizel in favor of Ponyta. And then the Turtwig team loses Roselia in favor of Ponyta. So also bad. So really this video is just Barry versus Wake, dude. This is obviously a disappointing result, but the good news is that Barry gets 2 more chances. Let's see how Turtwig fares. Turtwig's back sprite has seen things. Dark, terrible things. And that is a check plus. And we are on to Gardenia. I am preempting it. Whoa, I got crit! Hang on, wait, I put the check plus on too soon. I got crit. Hang on. Wait, it's not over. It's over. Okay, we're fine. That's annoying. I don't know, let's mess around and double team up a bit. Why not? Let's become that which we hate. That'll be the reflect. An interesting choice. That did a lot. Bum, bum, bum. Do I live this? Yes. All right, we're fine. That is a check plus on Gardenia. Weirdly, I think this is fine. Maybe we just try this. At +2, you hit that first try. This is crazy. Homie has no guard all of a sudden. Okay, Staravia, my goat. Hang on. Or Tail Whip, rather. You have so much good damage on me. Why open Confuse Ray? Why? Stop it. Okay, we got 1 at least. I would have loved to have had 2, but, you know, beggars can't be choosers. And this is a Confuse Ray open for sure. No, okay. That is so little damage. If I outsped, Endeavor would be great here, but I don't. It's up to this guy. This is not gonna go well. I think Grodel's special attack stat is like 50. What are we talking about? He's actually goated. Hang on, what? Special attack stat 55. What just happened? Mismagius has 105 special defense. Is Razor Leaf physical? Razor Leaf is physical. I'm so Gen 3 pilled. I'm so Gen 3 pilled. I'm like, bro, it's a grass move. That's special, homie. There is a special place in hell for Maylene. I am telling you, this was the most unbelievable luck from start to finish. I did like 20, 30 minutes of attempts with this team against Maylene, and obviously Grodel just isn't going to have as much value on Lucario as Monferno did, or as Piplup could, because Grodel just has no special attack, and obviously the Steel type is very physically defensively bulky. So I have to get Staravia to be the one against Lucario, so basically the line I came up with is, I have to hit the range on Metatite, and then going into Machoke, I swap around to Intimidate it down so that I can double team up to +6 evasiveness on the hope that Lucario will miss one move. If Lucario misses one or maybe two moves, I can win this check plus. The problem, though, is every time I get to +6 evasiveness, Lucario hits me first try every time. If you want to see me just absolutely lose my mind on this, the full VOD is on my VODs channel, link in the description to the playlist of all the unedited runs, but oh my god, I got so unlucky, and the fight was so ridiculous and required such a specific, unnecessarily stupid line that I'm just calling it. We really need the Piplup team to step up here, because so far, we are 2 for 2 on failing Barry. That Maylene fight took my soul out of my body, put it on the ground, beat it with a hammer, and then incinerated it. No good. Our last hope is now the blue penguin. It is now up to Piplup. Inarguably, the best of the Gen 4 starters. I will not be taking criticism at this time, or questions. Empoleon goated. Also, Water Steel is just such a cool typing. The live on one, Torrent. We're in Torrent range. Okay. Excellent. It's a check plus on Roark, and we're on to Gardenia. Same as last time, 2 or 3 double teams, and then let it rip. Okay. Nice crit. Nice miss. Should be in there. Assuming I live this and no crit. Check plus, and we are on to Fantina. Nice. Live that. Huge. Get in. Come on. Oj, man gör en laugh. Get in! It's gonna confuse Ray. It's gonna be fully paralyzed. Out of heal range, back into heal range, which I'm actually fine with. Getting the heals out now is good, I think. Not essential, but I would like it. If I could get one. Nice snap out. Let's go Ponyta. Okay, nice. The immediate sleep. And confuse. Great. Oh, this is cool. This is cool what's happening now. Nice, dude. Yeah. Heck yeah, bro. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So that was all pretty cool, I'd say. So that was all pretty neat. If I lose this from this position, the game is screwed. Can we not? Thank you. Good God, dude. Check plus. These runs, bro. Give me to the next. I thought maybe I'd outspeed, but... Nice. Wait. I should have done that last time. We've already seen how difficult Wake is, so I don't think you need to see all of my individual attempts trying to figure out a line, but eventually I do find something. Basically, it's only possible because we have Piplup and not any of the other starters, because Monferno goes down to any water move, and Groudle is really weak to Ice Fang on Floatzel. So really, Piplup is the only one with any survivability against Floatzel, and that's the key here. First of all, we open Staravia for Intimidate, then we swap to Ponyta and sack Ponyta to Waterfall from Gyarados, then swap back to Staravia to get another Intimidate, so it's now -2. So now Gyarados sees that since it's -2 attack, Waterfall does like nothing, so now it's going to use Brine instead because Brine has the higher roll. So now you just click Endeavor, because you can get rid of Gyarados' heal this way. 2 Endeavors on 2 Brines gets you down into Red Bar and Gyarados into Red Bar, which means that it will heal, and then you Endeavor again on the heal turn, and then Quick Attack to get rid of Gyarados, which is great. So you swap to Roselia on the swap, then swap back to Staravia for Intimidate. That Intimidate, that -1 is crucial on Floatzel. Then you sack Staravia, and then bring Roselia back in and pray you live the Ice Fang range and use Leech Seed, and then swap to Piplup and stall using Bubble Beam. Surprisingly, Bubble Beam is actually the highest damage move we have against Floatzel with Piplup, and we just pray that Crunch doesn't defense drop us, and then we just really hope we can close it out. Any crits or defense drops means that the run is over, and even then we need favorable ranges on Roselia if Floatzel gets another attack off. Wow, it's really close. I think we live even on high roll, because I think that's the high roll, but it's close. If we could get the poison off too somehow, that'd be amazing, but Roselia just doesn't live long enough. Aqua Jet, really? Oh, because I was so low. That's really good for us as an opening move. That's a free Leech Seed turn. A speed drop would be so incredible. It is hard to express how good a speed drop would be for us. 1 Growl might be worth, I don't know. But the potential of us critting is just so good that, like, it's hard to justify. When we could get... That's not what I meant! 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 You know, Ice Fang could miss. It could happen. That doesn't have... Oh! Wait! Wait! Hang on! Hang on! Hang on! Hang on! Everybody lock in! If you even for 1 nanosecond think I'm not about to pull up the damage calc, you have another thing coming. We should outspeed. Yes. Yes! Oh my god! Oh my god. Oh my lord, bro. Finally, a W on Wake. And we also get a moment to breathe here because Byron is not difficult at all for this team composition. We pick up Heracross here, which is a huge value add. Stab, Brick Break, or Close Combat is absolutely monstrous, especially against Byron. But we also now finally have Empoleon, which means we have answers for a lot of Byron's team with just strong water moves anyway. So, a moment to breathe. We can chill. Here's Byron. Okay, it's just gonna have to be Brick Break all the way down on Magneton here. Should be a 2-shot, right? Yeah. Bait's a heal as well, which is nice. No para. Beautiful. Okay, we're chill on Magneton. And then it should be Empoleon for the rest. But Brick Break on Bastiodon will still be good. Three-shot, maybe? Thank you! I needed that! I needed that! I needed that! I needed that. I needed that. Badly. I needed that. That looked like a weird move to do, but I'm trying to keep it out of heal range, and I wanted to bait the berry, which I have now successfully done. Beautiful. Check plus, and we are on to Candice. Heading into Candice, the only member that gets added to our team is Munchlax, which will eventually become Snorlax, which is obviously an incredible Pokemon with tons of value. But even though it's just Munchlax, I think we actually might be able to extract some value from it, given just that having more Pokemon is good. Even if you're using a Pokemon just to get sacked on a certain move, it's more team depth and more type diversity, which can't be bad. Easily one of the most threatening Pokemon in Sinnoh, and it is gone. Does this one-shot? Almost. Almost. That's kind of bad, though. We have a solution, and I bet you didn't think about it. We send in the Munchlax, and we Screech. And then what if we Screech again? Heracross bait Psychic. Yes, good call. Good call. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I should have used Close Combat, but it is -2, so maybe this is fine. Okay. This should pull Frostlass. Huge! Yeah, you use Double Team. You mischievous little freak. You evil cantankerous monster. Rapidash is here. And it's just that easy. You just have to bait out the Frostlass first somehow to get around Snow Warning, Snow Cloak. That's it. That's all it is. And it's a check plus on Candice, and we are on to Volkner. The closest team approximation we have for Barry's Volkner challenge is in the Pokemon League. When you arrive ready to challenge the Elite Four, Barry runs into the lobby just a few minutes after you and challenges you to a battle. This is definitely the team Barry would have had when he challenged Volkner, but maybe just a hair stronger since he would have had to go through Victory Road. His Empoleon in the lobby of the Pokemon League is only 1 level higher than Volkner's Ace, so I'm just gonna level his entire team down 1 level each, and that should make it more realistic against Volkner. The instant defense drop. That's a heal. Nice. It has Intimidate? Yeah, but I can just swap into it. Nice crit. But I should live that. Wow, the special defense drop and the defense drop. Really makes you think. Just kidding. Pretty sure I lived that. Nice crit. Oh, we outspeed there? I was sure. Okay, we're fine. Because now Staraptor outspeeds. This is fine. Should I use U-turn? How did that do nothing? How did that do nothing? Wait, what? I feel like that should do like way more, no? Nice miss. Okay, well, it's fine anyway. Oh, was that rivalry? Oh, you know what's crazy about that is I think all of Barry's Pokemon are supposed to be male. And in fact, when I made the teams, they were all male. I don't know what happened, but I will fix that going into the Elite Four. Whoops. But nonetheless, that is a check plus on Volkner. We are into the Pokemon League. So at the very least, Barry can get as far as he does in the story legitimately with the Piplup team. If you bake up a crazy line on Crasher Wake. But can he become champion? That's what we want to know. And with that, the version of Barry that selected Piplup has officially gotten all 8 badges in the Sinnoh region and earned the right to not just make it where he makes it in the story of the Generation 4 games, verifying that that is canon, at least for the Piplup version of Barry, but also he has the right now to challenge the Pokemon League in that hypothetical scenario where he either gets here before the protagonist or he beats the protagonist in the lobby of the Pokemon League and thus goes on to challenge them. Can he beat the Elite Four and Cynthia and make it all the way to become Sinnoh's champion? That's what I want to know. I'll be using Barry's team that we see in the lobby of the Pokemon League exactly as we see it against Aaron, Elite Four member number 1. And then after that, I'll be leveling Empoleon up to the Ace level for each subsequent Elite Four member and the champion if we get there. And whatever that level gap was between Empoleon's current level and their Ace Pokemon, I'll also add that change to every other Pokemon in my party. So if Empoleon goes up by 1 level, everybody else will also go up by 1 level. Sinnoh's Elite Four are no joke. They're all really good. Lucian is probably the strongest and he's last, fittingly. But, you know, Cynthia lies in wait if you get past the 4 of them, and I shouldn't have to tell you much about Cynthia. It's Cynthia. You've played the game. You know, Spiritomb, Garchomp, Togekiss, the whole 9 yards. It's no good. One last thing to note is that against the Elite Four, I'll still give Barry a check plus, even if I have to use heals, so long as I don't exceed the number of heals that they have against me. I think that makes sense. This Air Slash does a lot more than I thought it would, though Staraptor's special defense is obviously not great. A Paralyze would go crazy, I'll say it. Really, dude? Really? There's a full restore. It just missed every attack on me. Okay, we're fine. Okay. Should still do a lot. All right, nice. Very nice. That is a check plus on Aaron, and we are on to Bertha. Very nice. Because Empoleon doesn't have a... I mean, he has some value here. But, like, Earthquake is obviously a problem. But I think, if anything, we probably live that, right? Good God. Nice. Well, we are low health as well. Okay, we do outspeed. Okay. That's a heal. I do not play the TCG, no. I have too much respect for my wallet to play the Pokemon trading card game. Nice range. I mean, we stay in on that. Come on. Stay in on that as well. Surely we live that. I'm not sure of anything anymore. Very nice. That is a check plus on Bertha, and we are on to Flint. I feel like Staraptor lives this. Or maybe it'll nasty plot. If it doesn't see a kill, it might just nasty plot or something. Oh, we outspeed. Okay. There was also a chance that we just outspeed. That's certainly possible. And we absolutely take that in. Well, I feel like we live this Earthquake non-stab. Yeah, okay. Beautiful crit. I would imagine that crit mattered, but it's hard to say. That might take. Oh, the burn, but this is Torrent Brine. This is now Torrent. Okay, well, you know what? We take those. We take those. Solar Beam? That's puzzling. That's a curious move choice. Guys, don't know if you know this. Normal type, not weak to grass. Maybe it thinks I might have thick fat somehow. And so it's trying to play around that. Because it doesn't know the ability you have until it hits you with something. That's unfortunate. I could have just used a full restore. I don't know what I'm doing. But I haven't used a heal yet in the Elite Four, and I kind of want to not if I can avoid it. I also don't need to, like, I could just swap. But I don't know. I want Snorlax to have this. All right, that is another check plus with no heals so far, and we're on to Lucian. Nice. Do I live long enough to get Brave? Well, Reflect is up right now. So maybe we just try to get the para from Bounce. Because Reflect is up. And this kills 2 turns as well, which is really nice. Nice. Come on, bro. And we don't need to Brave Bird here. Pretty sure Aerial Ace will do it. Yeah. Yes! Huge. Massive. Huge take. That's a crit. Really? Oh, have we already seen the ace? Yeah, we saw Gallade, right? I think I lived that. Just kidding. Ha ha ha. My inclination is Heracross first, but I think I'm gonna go Staraptor just to get the Intimidate. Because that helps Empoleon survive. If I wanted to play this super scummy, I would just swap back into Staraptor again, but I'm not going to worry about that. All right, from here, Heracross Close Combat should take. Cool. That is 4 for 4, and we are on to Cynthia. This is it. This is the final hurdle, the last speed bump on Barry's journey for us to figure out if he could have become the champion of the Sinnoh region. Is Barry a fraud? Is Barry a joke? It comes down to this battle against Cynthia. Let's see if he can do it. Probably 2 Flare Blitzes would also do it, but I don't know. Okay, that works. It's just 2 Flare Blitzes. Don't overcomplicate it. That's probably Body Slam range. Use Mirror Coat, I dare you. Never mind. Please. Thank you. I thought I had Aerial Ace, but... E-Speed, yeah, whoops. Yep. Should have healed, probably. Which is neutral. Okay, that's clean. Nice. Snorlax, my bulky king. All right, I'm gonna heal. I'll give up on my crusade. I'll just heal. Not I think, I know. But a poison would be so good. But it definitely outspeeds, and Earthquake does a... Well, Flamethrower also it has. I think it's worth a shot. The miss. Huge. This is going to do a lot. That one-shots. Why didn't you just go for that? It's a little cheeky, but I think it's fine. Okay, there's my second heal. She has 3. She might have 4, honestly. If somebody could figure that out for me. I live that for sure. You're -2 or 3. Holy shit. God damn. Chill. I mean, surely Brave Bird kills. And I certainly I live Flamethrower, right? Okay. Okay. Why don't we heal? Let's heal. E-Sense is fine. I don't really know what I'm worried about. Okay. That's what I'm worried about. That's a lot. I don't live that. And I die to E-Sense here, and Energy Ball takes on this. This is last heal. Okay. That's workable. I just need a crit, guys. How hard could that be? I'm out of heals. Damn, it's so close. I think we lose, though. It's so close, but we lose. That's the move you choose? Really? How many did I use? I used 4. Okay, this is like -4 or -5 attack. You need to poison Garchomp? I don't think I do. The good news, though, now is that I can if I want to, because it's much lower attack. But I can't switch straight into Roserade because of Flamethrower. Hopefully this puts me in red. And then we heal. This is heal number 3. I think it's worth using on Empoleon. May as well. Could have swapped into Staraptor, but I'm getting impatient. Really, you... Wow. Wow. That's actually remarkable. It's just going for Flamethrower because the attack is so low. I don't want it to go into heal range. I'm gonna crunch. Unfortunate, dude. I was so sure that wouldn't be heal range. It is crazy how good this Garchomp is. Nice crit. Like, this is a remarkable Pokemon. They truly gave the champion just a diabolical Pokemon. That's my last heal, I think. It's either 3 or 4, but I'll just call it my last. Barring crit, Garchomp is down. Oh, I was like, surely I live that. Right. Okay. Wow, it's unsurprisingly really difficult, but check plus. Okay, can Barry become champion? Technically, yes. With the Piplup team, and you also need to bake crazy lines on so many of the fights, but it is possible. Oh my god, dude. Please subscribe. And Barry has done it. By the skin of his teeth, he is champion of the Sinnoh region. I'll be honest, after the Chimchar and Turtwig runs, I really didn't think the Piplup team could do it, but apparently there was just a little bit enough added depth to get the job done, which is really exciting for all you Barry fans out there, who I presume exist. Surely people like Barry, right? There are Barry fans out there? No? Wait, so then who is this video for? Thank you so much for watching, and please consider subscribing. What you see on screen right now is my top tier patrons on Patreon. The Patreon is a really excellent way to support the channel if you wish. The link is in the description. Thank you so much to all of them. I truly cannot thank them enough. They keep the channel afloat through turbulent times. They're the best. Again, thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for Sinnoh's Elite Four, which is up next.